Hi everybody, happy Wednesday. This is coming to you from Venice Church. I hope that you are doing well and taking good care of yourself. You know, today is actually a special Wednesday because today is Ash Wednesday. It's the beginning of the Lenten season, which is the 40-day period prior to Easter Sunday, where we celebrate the resurrection. But Ash Wednesday is called Ash Wednesday because it is the habit of certain groups of in the Christian community to place ashes on the forehead. Now they do that because in the old days, ashes represented mourning, M-O-U-R-N-I-N-G, mourning or grief. And they did that because they were mourning their sinful nature, that they had sinned and been part of the sinful nature, and out of grief for that, they would put ashes on their forehead. Similar to the ashes that I have here, let's see if this is going to work. They would put ashes on their forehead to represent their grief for their sin. Now this is the beginning of Lent because Lent leads to Easter, which is a celebration of the forgiveness of sin. And so before we can truly appreciate the celebration of the forgiveness of sin, we have to realize how great and pervasive and dirty and grievous is our sin. And so we begin the season of Lent grieving our sin. You know, King David wrote in Psalm 51, "Have mercy on me, O God, according to your unfailing love. According to your great compassion, blot out my transgressions. Wash away all my iniquity and cleanse me from my sin. For I know my transgressions, and my sin is always before me. Against you, you only have I sinned, and done what is evil in your sight." And so he goes on to lament how great his sin has been. And his sin was great. He wrote this after he had that unfortunate dalliance with Bathsheba, which led to the murder of her husband Uriah. And when he came upon the Lord's conviction, he realized how deep he had gone into the dark side. And so he wrote that psalm to lament and to mourn his sin. And I would ask and invite you to do the same, to not just avoid it, but to grieve the fact that yes, we're sinners. And then so you can celebrate that we're saved by God's grace. But first, as I mentioned, we have to understand the depth of our sin. And so, Ash Wednesday, this day when we begin the Lenten season, let's look at our true selves. The grief of our sin, that it has fallen on us, how it has grieved the Lord, how it has affected other people, how it has caused such damage to ourselves and to the people in our lives. And ask the Lord, "Lord, would you forgive me?" As David said, "Please forgive my transgressions. Have compassion on me." And when we do that, the Lord's compassion and the Lord's graciousness will fall upon us and release us from those sins. And so, beloved, this begins the time of releasing Lenten season and do the celebration which we will experience in Easter Sunday. So God bless. Have a great Ash Wednesday. And may the Lord give you freedom. Amen.